Welcome to Car and Driver. I'm Larry Webster. I'm here at the 2004 Detroit Auto Show. Okay, get comfortable, because you're about to see some of the coolest sheet metal we've seen in a long time. At big auto shows like this, automobile manufacturers love to flex their creative muscles and turn these shows into concept car festivals. They typically unveil incredible machines that will never ever see a production line. But that's not the case this year.
We've got some 50 introductions, and actually most of them aren't wild concepts. Most of these introductions are cars that are either going into production this year or are slated for production in the next several years. And the car companies realize they got to have captivating stuff in order to make money, and that's what they're showing us at this show.
And perhaps the most significant and captivating car this year was Ford's formal introduction of the 2005 Mustang. It's got a new chassis that shares some parts with the Lincoln LS and Jaguar S-Type. Only the Mustang has a solid rear axle. The GT model will be powered by a 300 horsepower 4.6-liter V8, but it's the retro look that really got us excited.
It's just like the car Steve McQueen drove in Bullitt. This roof line is right out of that old Mustang. You look up front here at the headlight pattern right out of those old Mustangs. Even this grille, the way it slopes forward from the top of the hood. No modern car does that. This is a throwback to the 60s, and it's what makes this car so cool.
And what's really cool is the GT will be priced right about $25,000. Now, for about twice that price, you can get your copy of the next generation of America's sports car. Now, you guys know I love Corvettes, and among all the sports cars in the show, well, this is the one that I can't wait to get my hands on. And if everything Chevy says is true, I think it could be the best Corvette ever. Its bulk has been reduced with leaner body lines for improved aerodynamics, while big power comes from the 6-liter aluminum LS2 V8 that will make the horsepower and torque numbers both read 400. 2 years ago, Pontiac's 2-seat Solstice was a stunningly cool concept, and the 2006 production model looks almost identical.
Often when you make the transition, you end up with more front overhang, rear overhang, clunky bumpers. None of that on this car. It's every bit as beautiful as the original.
Now, to make this work, GM developed a new Kappa platform, and they've already put it to good use basing other cool concepts on it, like the Saturn Curve and the Chevy Nomad. Subaru was also on hand to reveal their latest legacy models, the 2.5 GT Turbo sedan and wagon. Now, these models actually went on sale in Japan in 2003 and earned several awards in Japan. So what we're getting isn't exactly new, but it is proven. Also from Japan, Nissan took the wraps off the completely new Alpha 4 platform, carrying both the new Pathfinder SUV and Frontier pickup. They're bigger this time and sport a new 4-liter V6 with 250 horses. But there's something familiar about the new look.
The styling, as you'll note here in the front, curiously familiar. Could it look like the Nissan Titan? Yes, I think so. Hey, if it worked once, it'll work again. And the Titan is a terrific truck, so we think maybe this is going to be a terrific truck too.
Dodge rolled out their cool new Magnum Sport Wagon, much to the pleasure of a familiar and curious Mopar fan.
That thing got a Hemi.
Well, yes, it does.
They also introduced us to their sexy new 300C that celebrates the Chrysler letter car tradition. And with a little added flourish, they took the same approach to introduce their minivans.
Introducing the new 2005 Chrysler Town & Country and Dodge Grand Caravan. Who says minivans can't be sexy?
The PT Cruiser convertible was next making the manufacturer's progression from concept to production, to added power, and finally, a chopped top. But then they rolled out their convertible Crossfire. Now, wait a minute. They skipped a step here. They didn't add more power first, which is what the Crossfire needed in the first place. Toyota's young generation brand, Scion, introduced their new car, the TC. The brand was so new to our market last year that Scion just plucked cars right out of the Japanese market and shipped them to the States. But not anymore. That's how important the Scion brand is to Toyota, because unlike their other two cars, this one was designed specifically for the American market. It's got a really large 160 horsepower 4-cylinder engine, it's got lots of interior room, and it even has a glass sunroof. Lexus split the Diamond Pyramid to roll out their 2006 Lexus GS. This third-generation Lexus has a more sculpted, sleeker, and sportier look, while delivering better handling through the use of a new all-wheel drive system. And yes, we've saved the best for last. This is Ferrari's new 612 Scaglietti. Celebrating 50 years of Ferrari sales in North America, the 612 is styled like an updated 2+2 GT. With its paddle-controlled F1.8 gearbox and power coming from a 540 horsepower V12, even in this crowded hall of shiny, gleaming new cars, you can't deny the tingle in your soul at the thought of getting behind the wheel. And that, after all, is what the Detroit Auto
Frames